stir fries. Had to do one. It's such an easy dish for people to do when they're a bit kind of stressed from work. They're home late because it is so fast. And
Stress from work? What do you mean? Look what we do for a living. I'd hardly call this stressful.
Well, we're not included in this, are we? No, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how to make a very, very easy Singapore-style stir-fry. So I just got some Hokkien noodles that we're just going to kind of rehydrate, make sure nothing's sticking together by putting in a bowl of hot water there. That's just going to separate everything just for a few minutes.
Nice.
They'll be ready to just chuck straight in.
Nice.
So what I'm going to get you to do first of all is just slice that onion while I do my garlic. So of course there's so many different ways that you can do a stir-fry, but I'm going to choose to do a typical Singapore dish here.
They say that after spaghetti bolognese, stir-fry is one of the most common dishes cooked in Australia.
And that does not surprise me, not one bit. It's so easy. And, you know, a lot of my style of cooking is most definitely what can fit into your lifestyle, what is going to get you in the kitchen, yet not take all of your time, OK? And stir-fry is one of those.
Roast beef, a roast pork.
Nothing wrong with longer recipes. But I am here to give you those fast ones, OK?
Nice, I like fast.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plop my onion, a little bit of garlic there as well. So always a lovely base for a stir-fry.
A stir-fry is a great way to empty out the fridge if you've got all those floppy vegetables that aren't going to last the weekend.
If they're about to suddenly go.
There we go.
Absolutely.
What you could do is invite your in-laws around and cook them up all the floppy vegetables, and then you start the rest of the week with the good stuff.
There you go. So I'll just put a bit of extra virgin olive oil in there. Just going to keep an eye on that. Let them sweat a little bit and just saute a tiny little amount. And then we're going to, what Adrian is nicely doing for me now is julienning my carrots.
Cut them into matchstick shape is basically
Little
what it means.
matchstick shape. So what I'm going to do is just with my mushrooms...
Is that enough for you?
Just slice them. Oh, yeah, that's absolutely fine, because, of course, noodle is the main part of this dish.
All right.
So I'll just do my mushrooms. Don't worry about de-stemming or anything like that. We take absolutely everything here.
But these are beautiful shiitake mushrooms. Probably a bit more expensive than most mushrooms, but oh so delicious.
Oh,
they do have a lovely... And if you wanted to do something, if you want to have shiitake mushrooms and keep it cheaper, you could buy the dried ones, rehydrate themselves, and then pop them in.
Now, a few of you might be going, Rosie, your carrots are going to take far longer than your onions and things like that, because we chop them up so fine, and that is the whole thing about stir-fry. Everything should cook all at the same time. So I'm not going to put the spinach in quite yet, because, of course, it doesn't need too much time. But what we are going to do is just make a nice little sauce.
Nice.
So I'm going to start with 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. Whoop. Again, my intuition knows soy sauce.
There we go. About 2.5 tablespoons there, 3 tablespoons. There we go. Don't skimp on the soy sauce, Rosie. It's very important part of the flavour.
Bit of chilli flakes, because me and Adrian, we like our spice, of course. Don't have to have that if you don't want to.
Lovely.
A little bit of coconut sugar, because you will find that some stir-fries and some nice noodles do have a little pinch of sugar there.
Knock your hand a little bit and tip it all in there, make it nice and sweet.
That'll be enough. And what I'm going to do as well is just to have 1 teaspoon of curry powder, because that's quite traditional, isn't it, in some of the noodle dishes?
In Singapore noodles, for sure, you have to have that little bit of curry powder. You would fry that off with your shrimp and your bits of pork and your lapsam sausage and
But of course, this is a veggie stir-fry today, isn't it?
That's right.
I'll just let you keep stirring that while I keep an eye on mine, and we'll just nicely stir-fry those. They'll start browning in about 2 to 3 minutes. That's looking beautiful there. So I'm ready for my spinach, because, of course, spinach only needs to be kissed a little with the heat. Just plop that on there.
Kiss the spinach with the heat. I love that. I love that. Because this baby spinach is so thin, it just wilts straight away.
Exactly.
And you want to keep it nice and green, because apparently it's all nutritious when it's nice and green and tasty.
It certainly is.
Now, do you want me to pull that out with my hands? I could probably do that.
Sure, if you want to. That's it. It's OK if a little bit of water comes in, but try and get rid of the most of it if you can.
There we go. Straight
right on the top. That's going to help the spinach wilt a little bit as well.
In we go with the noodles.
So now we've got the noodles in there. I've got my beautiful sauce here, and I'm just going to drizzle that around. Now, if I was Adrian, I would do a lovely big flick of the wok, but I'm not. I'm Rosie, and I'm going to just get 2 handles, and I'm just going to mix everything nicely together. Maybe in a few years, Adrian, I'll be Good enough to do the big wok flick.
Well, I can give you a tip for practicing. If you got your wok and got a half a cup of salt in there, went out over the backyard, you got to practice tossing it. It'll take you a little while, but you get the idea of it. But this is a much safer way of doing it.
Safety first.
You've done it really quickly. And with the two-tong or the two-spoon method that you've done there, it works bang on, doesn't it?
That's it. So, of course, it's ready. It didn't take any time at all. So if you want to bring a little bowl over.
Here we go.
Get you a nice serving there, Adrian.
It's
okay if we get messy with noodles, not a problem.
There we go. I'll slurp them up anyway. I'll be messy when I eat them.
There we go.
Another one there for you?
Yes, please, if you don't mind. Got to make sure I get a few more shiitakes in there.
Ah, so you get all the good stuff. There we go.
There we go.
Here we go, around the side there like that. Now, these are...
Just going to top that off with some sesame seeds.
Nice.
And a little bit of spring onion.
Now, if I wanted to, I can add a little bit more soy, can I?
Of course you can. It's not a problem. We only
sauce.
had a little bit in there.
There we go.
So, isn't this just the perfect quick dish that took me no time at all? Imagine, straight after work, you're a little bit tired, but you still want to eat well.
You could have this for breakfast, put a fried egg on
You
top.
could
It'd
have
be
it for
cracker, wouldn't it?
breakfast. So have a little try, get tuck in.
That's delicious. It's got a little bit of sweetness to it, and I'm really glad you put that sugar in there, because I like that sweetness. It's just a touch, and it's balanced by the saltiness of the soy. I think it's a great one. And that curry powder is all the way through there.
It's good, isn't it? And those noodles really don't need long, okay? Those hokkien noodles are tasting absolutely cooked to perfection. So I'm happy with this. Little lazy dinner, gorgeous.